Welcome to Fin Tips, everybody. Hey, happy freaking Friday out there to you. How you doing today? Eric, you're looking good over there. How you doing, sir?
I am over here feeling like I'm taking my senior photo.
Yeah, just trying something different, right?
Shoulders back, chin down, up.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just thought, hey, let's make it a little dark, and let's see what happens there.
Okay.
So, hope you enjoy it. Welcome. We're talking about student loans today. For or against getting them paid off?
No, I'm not for it.
You want to pay off?
No, because what about the people who've done this the whole time? I know this is gonna make some people mad already. I can imagine, though. Yeah.
Let's do it this way.
This is a challenging one, though. I just want to be honest about it.
Yeah,
yeah. Hey, congrats if somebody does get it paid off, but you need to pay for trade school. Help some people out.
Okay, good. I'm getting him fired up today. Let's pretend a client asks you, I've got $10,000 in student loan debt.
Okay.
I technically would qualify if the Supreme Court does allow this to go through.
Yeah.
Should I just pay it off because the payments are coming up here soon? Should I pay it off or what should I do?
10,000, no, because that was the rule. There was the 10,000. Though my thought process with all of this was
Wait. You say it. Don't tell them. You would say don't pay it off.
Don't pay off 10,000.
Okay.
But if they have 50,000, 70,000, I know people who literally stop paying their student loan payments.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, maybe, let's see where it happens. And hey, it's interest free right now, so it's not accumulating anymore. That was the opportunity to pay down your money and chip away at the principal.
Yeah.
But
you would advise a client to just let's wait and see how this thing plays out.
If it's at the limit of what they talked about paying off.
No, this is not up for debate. This is like in the Supreme Court, they will either block it or they will say this has some merit and they'll
the 10
allow
grand.
The way it stands now, which is the 10 grand,
Right.
And then the income qualifications, which not everybody would qualify.
Yeah.
But it's about $400 billion.
Yeah. I think there comes a point. I know there were a lot of people who were misled on certain things, though. Looking back at my time coming out of high school, anything I did, I paid cash for, and I had 2 jobs, and that's how I was able to get by. And I had a lawn business, and I would have to go and finance a lawnmower, and it was to make money, but I paid taxes on the money, and I was buying $10,000 lawnmowers. These aren't, these were commercial mowers.
Yeah.
I had to do something. I had to pay that off.
You knew that you owed that debt when you took out the debt.
Absolutely.
Well, so why is a student loan any different? Like, well, I didn't know. I can't afford it.
Yeah, well, I know of so many people that made the mistake of going to college and saying, well, I can get more money. And so instead of just saying, well, hey, I'm just paying for the college, but, at what point is it you're paying for the experience versus anything else? And so you go to these nice schools.
Yeah.
Rarely do I see somebody that's like, hey, I went to Harvard and I have all these student loans. Oftentimes they don't have any student loans. They've probably paid them off or whatever the case is there. Mm-hmm. But those are the schools that may matter. Georgetown, Harvard, there's a few others that come to mind that it's like, okay, possibly you go to a certain school, you go to get the job, it has some merit. But when you tell them you went to, Joe Blow private school in, Florida that costs $40,000 a year, there's no merit to that. And so when you're going out and forgive me, my mom is a professor of education at one of these, and it frustrated me. And it's not that, it's not my mom's fault. And, people are going to different schools and a lot of wealthy parents send their kids there. Yep. But the kids that aren't doing that and they're going to be an educator and they're paying $40,000 a year, it's insanity. And racking up this student loan debt, hopefully they can do an income-driven payment plan and pray that they can keep their income low. But when they marry a guy and he's making 150 and they're making 50, your income payment plan is totally different unless you file married separately. And when you file married separately, so I could go on this.
See what happened? I was going to let him go. I was just sitting here like, he's going.
Yeah.
Let him get fired up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is another side of me, right?
We found his hot button, man. We found it right there.
There comes a point of responsibility.
You can say that because your mom's a professor.
Oh, is that why?
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, I'll tell a joke that maybe has to do with a nationality or something, a Spanish person, like Little Caesars, right? But I can say that because I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm allowed to do it.
There you go. Half.
So, not if you ask my mama.
Oh.
She's like, you don't tell people you are Puerto Rican. So I'm a numbers guy. And what bothers me about the student loans is it makes absolutely no sense. It's clearly a way to buy votes. So basically you have Republicans that are essentially weak on fighting on really anything and whatever. And you have Democrats that say, we'll just buy the votes. We'll pay off your student loans. Whatever. That's the game plan they play. But when you look at the data, low-income households don't historically have student loan debt. And that's not an opinion. I'm not trying to bash anybody. That is a statistical fact. I'll show you a chart in a second. So we say we're helping the low-income household. No, we're not. And not only that, the low and middle-income households, they actually stand to benefit more as a total net income sort of per person by using the debt forgiveness plans, right, and going that route. So having this presented as we're going to wipe out some of your student loan debt, that's helping the middle and upper middle class families. So if we look at the chart here on the screen, we've got your federal, this is actually from the Department of Education. So this is their numbers. I'm not doing this. The student debt by income quintile. So we've essentially broken all income levels into 5 groups, right? Far left would be the bottom. Now the gray line, you're seeing the student debt payment as a percentage of your income. It totals up maybe 7%. So you're gonna have to look off over to the right there. It's to see the percentage. On the left, we're actually taking a look at the percentage of expenses that will come out of the economy. So that's a separate topic there. So if you look at the bottom income group here, federal student debt payments as a share of income after having wiped out some of the debt based on President Biden's proposal. It is a very minor difference. The biggest impact actually comes in the second and third quintile of earnings, which is people that are not low income, right? It's helping people that are middle income. Now, the trouble with this is as your income goes up, you don't qualify, right? So notice how it's not helping much of people in the upper income, and probably shouldn't, but it's because your income's too high. You didn't get the Pell Grant. You don't qualify for this Biden proposal here. Yeah. So really, really frustrates me how you see it's like we have to take care of the debt of low-income minorities, and they always use low-income, underserved communities or whatever. The Board of Education is actually showing you that that's not true. So that's like saying Kamala Harris is African-American, right? She's not. It's not. You can say what you want, but that would frustrate me.
She's claimed multiple nationalities.
Okay, or the other lady that said that she was Indian, it was like, okay, maybe I had to look that up, or maybe it was a slip of the tongue. I understand that. But to see both Republicans and Democrats come out and go, we're either in favor of it or not. Whenever they say it, they say we're not in favor of helping the low-income, underserved communities, or however they word it. Stop it. Don't say low income because it's not helping them. We can prove it, and your own Board of Education is telling you that it is not helping them. Yep. It's helping middle income people that can make their payments. They will get their little $500, $1,200, whatever it is, dollar a month payment. They will make their payments. They have to. There's no other choice.
When I think the question is your thoughts, and I've got something here to kind of show what actually Goldman Sachs, our custodian, has said on things. Mm-hmm. What's the impact on the economy if, when the student loan repayment starts again?
Next to nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So they're showing here on this chart, you can see your percentage points hit to a monthly spending growth from a student loan payment restart month on month, annualized rate. And so as you can see, if in there we go. Basically September, it's going to be a higher percentage point than October, November, and December. It's going to actually trickle down again. And so it's not like there's going to be one little blip there where it increases, but it's not going to be massive, though there's a lot of speculation on that. There's a lot of people talking on this is going to be the lead into the next recession, and others that are, Goldman Sachs is saying, maybe not that much of an impact. There's a lot of arguments on those.
Well, so what they look at is what's called the PCE index. And stop me if I'm going down the wrong path here. Yep. Personal consumption expenditures. That's what it stands for.
Yeah. PCE growth this year if the student loan forgiveness plan is struck down, or 0.1 PP if the plan stands.
So the concept there, what they're saying is there's going to be one direction or the other. Either Biden's plan gets the green light or it gets overruled and blocked essentially. So they're saying, well, what happens if student loan payments just, because remember, part of the debt ceiling increase, he's not allowed to extend the payments. So your payments will restart September, end of August.
September, I think it is.
So your end of August, it's over. You start new September to make payments again. There is no chance that will be extended. It's not allowed now with the debt ceiling, unless the Republicans say, "Hey, we'll allow it," But that's not happening. So
that's coming into play now. It's the free money or not kind of thing.
Yeah. So we're done with that, and it's either you're getting some of it wiped out or not. And basically, what Goldman was showing was what's the expected hit, and then what happens if it is passed and some of our debt, that debt gets erased. What would be the impact to your personal expenditures? Next to nothing. It's not
by December, it's going to be kind of very close. But what's interesting, though, Credit Karma on this article is saying, this is a Yahoo Finance article, says 1,006 adults found that 43% of borrowers do not feel financially stable and 21% had no savings. 53% of borrowers said that their financial stability depends on loan forgiveness or the federal forbearance period, with 26% using money that they previously paid on loans for bills and necessities. And so at what point do we, do consumer discretionaries? I mean, I have this theory of your auto industry maybe takes a little hit potentially. Maybe it doesn't. There's not enough data there. There's really not anything out there that I feel other than some, a chart that can show you that, debt is up. But beyond that, are people budgeting this in or not? I mean, everybody's got their different arguments, it looks like, with this. And, Credit Karma is just kind of surveying people in a sense.
Oh, no, it kills me because when you look up that survey, the survey was sent to the Americans for free college education, something like that. I'm trying to find it for you.
So your survey, you're saying that survey.
Your survey went to those people. Oh, it kills me. Where's the actual thing? Because they're pretty good at telling you that. We'll put it in the link below or description below if I can find it. That was one of the most frustrating things.
It was conducted online with the United States by Qualtrics on behalf of Credit Karma between March, April among 1,006 adults ages 18 and older. I can't find anything else on that.
Qualtrics.
We'd have to see. But yeah, it is interesting on how those different things do. But I mean, I lean on that Goldman Sachs chart kind of really shows things here, and so I think that it's one that potentially not seeing a massive impact based on what we're seeing here and what that says. Again, there's so much data or so limited data on really what we can pull with this.
And you have 77% of, I'm looking at the Qualtrics study, 77% of them answered that yes, financial education in schools is something politicians should focus and push. This is the part where I get grumpy. And really my only frustration with the student loan payment or debt repayment thing, the Biden plan, is it doesn't address the problem. If we're serious about it, let's say, okay, Republicans, Democrats, we can meet in the middle and agree there's a problem here and we need to address it from the root cause. We don't need to just wipe out debt and then go, vote for me. We need to go back to the beginning and go, how did you not understand that was a loan?
Financial education.
We misled you.
From the get-go.
Doesn't have to be a whole class, a semester or whatever, but somehow we need to go back there. And we also should go back and say, if you're a lender and you give a loan to a student to go to college, you're on the hook for that. Sorry, that was the world's best lobbying that they did.
Well, there's the credit card that you could get, and when I first got my first credit card, they put a limit on it because I didn't have any credit history.
Yeah,
so they just said, you could spend $500, and that was it. And so, at what point do we say, okay, the credit card's showing some kind of responsibility on their side, versus the student loans? It's well, I have no income, but I can apply for these student loans and get more and get more. And here's the limit we'll give you. Your tuition's only this, so if you go,
the company
go out to eat on it and do this and that, go for it.
It's all you. But the company that loaned you money to do the lawn mowing and all that, they were on the hook for your failure if you failed.
Yeah.
That's really simple. And that's one of those things where I'm one day someone should run for president and just only run on things that everybody agrees on both sides. Guaranteed. Skip everything else.
Right.
Can we all agree that student loan debt should be solved from the root cause there? And maybe you want to pay off some debt while we're at it. That's fine. Vote for me. But let's go ahead and solve the problem here.
Yeah.
it won't get done.
Nope.
But all right,
I agree.
Get
So,
fired up. Well, you want to tell us a joke and make us happy there?
yeah, I got a question for you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Grumpy man.
No, I'm happy. You were the grumpy one today.
Do you know? Do you know your pupils are the last thing to stop working when you die?
Yeah, you told us this one already, didn't you?
Did I?
I've heard. Okay, I don't know the
Did
answer.
I do
but
it? Did I do this one? You've heard it before.
I don't.
I
know.
may have done it.
I don't know anybody else that would tell something like that. Go ahead. Well, but I don't know the answer. But go ahead.
Pupils are the last thing to stop working when you die. Do you know why?
No.
They die late.
Yep. Okay.
Oh man, did I say this one already?
It may have been you.
It had to be. You know what? You threw me off. My camera. Oh, I'm dripping a little coffee there. So, but it can't. You can't see the thing.
Another dad joke. Hey, when does a dad joke become when does a regular joke become a dad joke?
When it's awful.
When it goes away and never comes back.
There you go. That's good. All right, so interesting topic. So let us know in the comments what you think, though. It's one that I think everybody's divided on. Obviously, some people want things paid off, some people don't.
There's nothing to be divided.
People
on.
that paid off student loans, maybe are like paid for things. They're like, not for me. But either way, so we've got some cool camera setups. Let us know about that too. What you think there, and have a great weekend.
Adios.
Adios. There it is. I was